हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम बैक। आज हम परमिटेशन एंड कॉम्बिनेशन पर बेस्ड 3 एक्टिविटीज़ करेंगे। These activities will introduce you to what exactly is a permutation and what exactly is the combination. So dear 11th graders, this is for you. So first activity says that let's pack your bags together. अपने bags हम pack करें. So I believe that you all have an English book, a mathematics book, a physics book, and a chemistry book. You need to put all these books in your bag. Let's say E is for English and M for is mathematics, P is for physics, and C is for chemistry. You need to put these books in your bag in some order. Whether you put in your English book first, then mathematics books, then chemistry books, then physics books. Then you, or the other person or the other student may have put the physics books first, then the chemistry, then mathematics, then English. He may not like English. Then there is a third student who loves math. So let's say he put his maths book first, then chemistry, then physics, then English. Right? So write down on a new sheet of paper that what will be your sequence of putting the books in your bag. Have you written it? Let's say I put my English book first, then math, then say chemistry, and last is physics. I don't like physics. Right? So what I have done, E, M, C, P. This is my sequence. What's your sequence? M, C, P, E? Is it? No, it is not. Then what else? Now, try to make all different arrangements. Try to make all or write all different arrangements in your notebook on the page. In what other way you can put your books in your bag? Okay, let's do it. Let's fix M first. The mathematics books is the first one to go inside your bag. Next, let's say chemistry, then physics, then English. Right? Next, the second arrangement is mathematics is the first one to go. Let's say chemistry is also the second one. We interchange physics and English. Here, English will go first and physics will go after. We'll follow it. Okay? Next arrangement. Mathematics is again kept on the first. Then, let's say we fix English, then physics, then chemistry. So here, maths and English, we keep them fixed. We interchange both these physics and chemistry. So we have chemistry, then we will put the physics textbook in our bag. Next, what else we can do? Fix the first mathematics, then we have chemistry at the second place, we have English at the second place, but physics textbook was not at the second place. So let us put the physics textbook at the second place. Now, here we can put the English textbook next, and then there is the chemistry one. Next, MPCE, interchange the chemistry and English textbook. So here we have the 6 arrangements. In all these arrangements, we observe that the mathematics books is the first one to go inside our bag. Then the other 3 textbooks follow it. Right? So from the next arrangement, what we do, let's say physics textbook is the first one to enter into the bag. Then it is mathematics, then chemistry, then English. Then how the next arrangement can be formed? We'll fix starting 2 and interchange English and chemistry. So it is PMEC. Now, what next? We'll change mathematics with another, say it chemistry or English. Let's just do PCME, physics, chemistry, math, and English. So in the next, we will interchange mathematics and English. So PCEM. Now see that with the first book, physics, we have mathematics at the second place and chemistry at the second place. Now what is left? English. So PECM is our next arrangement. Next, PEMC. So we have found 12 arrangements. Do we have more? Yeah, because at the first place, in the first 6 arrangement, what we observed that mathematics book was the first one to enter the bag. In the next 6 arrangement, we observe that physics textbook is the first one to enter the bag. So in the next 6 arrangement, it should be chemistry, because in none of these arrangement, chemistry was the first textbook to enter into the bag. So let us write, starting with the chemistry, physics, mathematics, English. Then chemistry, physics, keep them fixed. Change mathematics and English. So we have English and mathematics. Now next is chemistry, change physics to the mathematics. Mathematics, physics, English. Now interchange physics and English. CMEP. Right? What is left? CP, we have CM, we have what is left? CE. So next will be CEPM. Then we have CEMP, chemistry, English, maths, and physics. Okay, so we have the 6 arrangements in which the chemistry book will go first. Okay, what is left? English book is left, right? Let us slide in English book first in your bag, and the chemistry one is next, maths and physics. So E, C, P, M, interchange M and P. Then E, chemistry is the second one. We have that. Now physics, chemistry, math. We have E, P, M, C. What is left? Math is left. English, mathematics, physics, chemistry, English, mathematics, chemistry, physics. Right? Any other arrangement, any other different arrangement that you can make from your books? Any other sequence in which you can put your books into your bag, you can pack your bag in. There is no other sequence, right? So let us count how many arrangements we have now. So it's 16 till here, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So we have 24 arrangements, right? So permutation is these arrangements. Permutation gives you the number of arrangements you can make, number of different arrangements you can make from the given objects, the number of ways to put the things, right? Clear? So here we observe that we have 4 objects: mathematics, chemistry, physics, and English textbooks. And the answer we are getting is 24 ways. How do we get to these 24 ways? Do we need to count them always? Or do we have any other alternative? Yes, we do have an alternative to think about this. So let us make the 4 places. Since we have 4 textbooks, we need to slide them into our bags. So what are the choices for the first place? At the first place, we can slide in the physics textbook, we can slide in a chemistry textbook, we can slide in an English textbook, we can slide in a mathematics textbook. So for the first place, we have 4 choices. 4 books can go in at the first place. Now at the next place, if one of the textbook is sliding into the bag, then we are left with just 3 textbooks, right? We have just 3 textbooks. So the number of choices for the second place is with 3 textbooks. We are left with 3 textbooks. One of them needs to be sliding at the second place. So choices for the second place are 3. Next, these 2 places are acquired. So out of 4, 2 books are there in the bag now. What we are left with are the 2 books. Okay. So the choices for the third place are 2. Next, the choices for the fourth place is 1. Because 3 textbooks are there into the bag, we are left with just 1. We need to slide it in at the fourth place, right? So we have 4 choices for the first place, 3 choices for the next second place, 2 choices for the third place, and we are left with just 1 textbook for the fourth place. To calculate how many different arrangements we have from these 4 textbooks, we need to multiply these choices. That is, we will get 4 factorial. That is the definition of factorial. What does n factorial mean? N factorial mean that you have to multiply all the positive integers starting from 1, 2, 3 up to n. You have to multiply all of them to get n factorial, right? So here what we are doing, 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. We start with 1, 2, 3, 4. We are multiplying up to 4. So we have 4 factorial. Okay. So instead of finding out each arrangement, if we are asked that in how many ways you can pack your bags, we can simply say that since we have 4 distinct objects, we need to arrange them. So we will have 4 factorial arrangements. This is the use of the permutation. Okay. So next activity is, in your first activity, you had mathematics, English, physics, and chemistry. All 4 books were different. In this activity, we replace the English textbook with another mathematics book, right? You have 2 mathematics book, part 1 and part 2. So we replaced English textbook with the mathematics book. Now we have 2 books of mathematics, 1 textbook for physics, and another is for chemistry. So what we have? We have a M, another M, physics and chemistry. Now we need to arrange these 4. How are you going to slide in these 4 textbooks into your bag? In this task, observe that since this is also M, this is also M, putting this M first and this M next, or putting this M first and this M next, will not give you different arrangements. You will have M, 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 M only. So that doesn't make different arrangement. That will not be counted as different arrangement. Okay. So let us count now. How many arrangements we will have with MMPC? Let us fix M at the first place. Okay. For the second place, we have 3 choices. We can have a M, we can have P, we can have C. Let us fix M at this place. So we have P here, then C here, or we can have CP. These are the 2 arrangements. Next, Let us fix C at the second place. So we can have MP or EM, right? Now let us fix P at the second place. So we will have CM and MC. Two more are added to our arrangements. Now let us change the first letter itself. Let us put our physics textbook first. So for the next arrangement, we have how many choices? We can put M, we can put C. So let us put M. So here we can put M or C. Then we have P, M, C, M, right? Then let us have C at the second place. So C, M, M. If we interchange them, we have P, C, M, M. This is one and the same arrangement. We are looking at the same arrangement, P, C, M, M, and this one is also P, C, M, M. So this will not be counted. Okay. What else we can do? If in place of this M we fix this M, then also we will have these two arrangements only. So if we fix the first place or we slide in the physics textbook at the first place, we will just have three arrangements, three distinct arrangements. So now let us count for chemistry. If we slide in the chemistry book first, then for the second place we can have physics, mathematics, mathematics. Then we can have mathematics, physics, mathematics, and this, right? Is there any other arrangement completely distinct from all these 12 arrangements? Can you find out? I hope you all are doing this side by side, as this is an activity for you guys to perform. So how many arrangements, how many distinct arrangements this time we have? We have 12 arrangements. So what have just happened? How does it reduce? In the previous activity, where we have 4 distinct objects, physics, chemistry, maths, and English, we were having 24 arrangements. That is 4 factorial. How in this activity we have got only 24 arrangements? In this activity, we got only 12 arrangements because we have twins. Because we had twins, mathematics. We were having 2 mathematics book. And their arrangement, their different arrangement was not making any difference for us. Right? So, our 4 factorial was divided by 2 factorial since M was repeated twice. So, these M can be arranged 2 factorial. Arrangements can be made out of these M. And all these 2 factorial arrangements will be counted as 1 in this, as whether we put M part 1 first or M part 2 first, that was not making any difference for us, right? So we had 24 by 2, that is 12 arrangements here, 12 distinct arrangements here. So what does the twins, how does the twins impact the number of arrangements? What if we have 3 mathematics textbook, 3 mathematics textbook, and we have 1 chemistry book? We need to slide them into our bags. How many distinct arrangements can be made now? We can fix M, then M, C, M, 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 C. What else can we do? We can do C, M, M, M. Is there any other arrangement you can do? Yeah, there is M, C, M, M. Any other? So we are just reduced to 4 arrangements this time. So as the twins increases, or we can say as the copies increase, we will have less arrangements, right? This time 4 factorial by 3 factorial, because we were having 3 same M, and these 3 M can be arranged in 3 factorial ways, right? So 4 factorial need to be divided by 3 factorial, because suppose, let us talk about this in this way. So we have M1. Just add a little bit of subscript to make you clear. M1, M2, and M3, right? If I arrange M1, M2, M3 this way with a C, I'm talking about this arrangement, or I am doing M2, M1, M3, or I am doing M1, M3, M2, or I am doing C, M2, M3, M1, or I am doing C, M3, M1, M2, or I am doing C, M3, M2, M1. So all these 6 arrangements are clubbed into this arrangement, because this is not given. These are the same M, M, M. So all these 6 arrangements that can be made if we have M1, M2, M3. If we had M1, M2, M3, these 6 arrangements, we will got these arrangements. But since we have M, 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 all 3 are same. So all these 6 arrangements are clubbed into a single arrangement. So each arrangement is showing 6 arrangements, 6 possible arrangements that we could have if we have distinct M1, M2, M3, right? So we need to divide the total arrangement possible if we have distinct elements with the 3 factorial, because 3 factorial, that is 3 into 2 into 1. That is 6 arrangements are clubbed into 1 arrangement in this task, where we have 3 we have triplets, right? We can say 3 of them are same. Okay, I hope this is clear that how the repetition affects the number of arrangements. So from here we will deduce that if we need to count the number of arrangements, for n distinct elements, we will have n factorial arrangements. If we need to calculate number of arrangements for number of arrangements for objects in which we have q same element, मतलब q objects are same, right? Then what we will do, we need to divide n factorial by q factorial. Let's say we have mm and cc. What now? So we have 4 objects, right? 4 factorial. We need to divide by the repetitions. M is repeated twice, so we need to divide by 2 factorial. Similarly, C is repeated twice, so again we need to divide by 2 factorial. What if we have MMMCC? What now? We have 5 places, right? So 5 factorial by M is repeated 3 times, so 3 factorial, and C is repeated 2 times, 2 factorial. You need to make arrangement yourself so that you are able to realize that how different arrangements that could have been different if M and M are these two are different elements. Those arrangements could be counted as distinct arrangements if M and M are distinct. But since we have M and M same elements, so those arrangements are clubbed together. And since they are clubbed together, we need to divide by 2 factorial. Right? In this, you will observe that 2 factorial, the 2 arrangements are clubbed together to form 1 arrangement. Okay? Similarly, in this, you will realize that 6 arrangements are clubbed together to form 1 arrangement. Okay? Is it clear? Then we will have a formula, say NPCR. We will talk about it later in the lectures. Okay, let us move on to the next activity, that is activity 3. So since you have entered into class 11, so let us celebrate that. Let us say we have a freshers party, okay, in which your group of 5 close friends enter the party all together, and you want to experience everything that is being organized for you. So the first booth that you have encountered is a handshake photo booth, which says that 2 of you need to go on that booth. There was a backdrop. You need to shake hand, and a selfie camera or a camera will take your photo. Right? Now, at this booth, if Rohit and Seema goes to the booth, had a handshake, had a picture. So, does it matter that Rohit was standing on the left or Seema was standing on the left? No. They had a handshake, they had a picture. So, whether Rohit and Seema were standing or Seema or Rohit were standing, there was a handshake and a photo will be taken. This arrangement doesn't count different, right? One handshake will be considered at a moment, right? Okay. The next booth is a complement table, wherein a table was set up in between and there are 2 chairs arranged in front of each other. One chair is marked as giver and the another chair is marked as receiver. What do you need to receive and what do you need to give? As the table says, complement table. So the person sitting on the giver chair need to complement the person sitting across him on the receiver chair. Okay. Say Rohit was sitting on the giver chair. This is Rohit. And Seema is sitting on the receiver end. So Rohit needs to compliment Seema. Rohit said, "You are excellent in mathematics. Okay. In this interaction, Rohit was complimenting and Seema was on the other end and was receiving a compliment. Right? So, is this interaction different than if Seema is sitting on the giver chair and Rohit is sitting on the receiver chair? In this interaction, what Seema has to do? Seema has to compliment Rohit. Let's say Seema said, "You are excellent in sports. So these 2 interactions will be counted as 2 different interactions, because in the first interaction, Rohit was complimenting and in the second interaction, Seema was complimenting. Receiving a compliment and giving a compliment are 2 different interactions. You will feel 2 different emotions, right? So here the arrangement matters. The order matters. Whether Rohit is sitting on the giver chair or on the receiver ends. That matters, right? Okay. So the task A says every person must shake hands with every other person exactly once for a photo. यहाँ पर does the order of who stands on the left or the right matters? No, right? Just a handshake. Okay. Now you need to calculate the total unique photos for 5 friends. Since this was a handshake photo booth, right? So you will shake hand, and a photo will be clicked. So you need to count how many photos your group will have. In your group, there are 5 friends at the photo booth. How many different photos your group will have at the photo booth? So let's say there are 5 friends A, B, C, D, and E. So A goes to the photo booth and he says, one by one, you 4 come, I will shake hand with you and we'll have a picture. Right? So A shake hand with B, A shake hand with C, A shake hand with D, A shake hand with E. Okay. Now A has a handshake with all of them. Right? Then B said, okay, now I am standing here one by one, you all come and we'll have a handshake. B shake hand with C, B shake hand with D, B shake hand with E, B shake hand with A. Now observe that A shake hand with B and B shake hand with A. In this photo we have A and B, and in this photo also we have A and B. Does it matter that who is standing on the left and who is standing on the right? No, it doesn't matter. We will have the same picture in which 2 person A and B are standing and having a handshake. So this is the repetition, right? This is not a distinct photo or a unique photo. Okay, so this will be eliminated. Okay, next C is standing at the photo booth and he says, one by one, you all come and I'll hand a handshake. C has already had a handshake with A and B, so he is left with D and E. Okay, next D is standing and D will have a handshake with E because he had already a handshake with A, B, and C. Okay, so here we have four handshake, and with each handshake we have a photo. So we have 4 photos. Here we have 3 photos. Here we have 2 photos, and here we have 1 photo. So it's 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. This time we have 7 to 8 and 10 photos. We have 10 distinct photos. What now? Why do we have 10 photos now? It is because in this handshake session, it doesn't matter, the order of the friends doesn't matter. What matters is how will you choose 2 friends out of those 5 friends. That matter. You are selecting 2 friends out of those 5 friends. That counts as one handshake, right? The order, whether A shake hand with B or B shake hand with A, that doesn't matter because both of them had a handshake, right? So in this we call combination come into effect. Combination came into effect. Wherein order or arrangement doesn't matter. What matters is how will you pick up those 2 friends from the group of 5 friends. That matters, right? So 5 out of 5 we need to pick up 2 friends. 5 CR. As we have studied into binomial expansion, that 5 CR will be expanded into 5 factorial by 2 factorial into 3 factorial. So it is 5 4 by 2, that is 10. Got it? Got it? So this activity is to make you understand that when is the order matter and when the order doesn't matter. When order matters, we will go for permutation. We will use permutations, different arrangements. And when order doesn't matter, we will use combination. Okay. So total handshake photos you will have will be 10. The next task is the complement table counter. So now the arrangement matters because one chair is for giver and another is for receiver. The person sitting on the giver chair will complement the person sitting on the receiver chair. That will be counted as A complementing B. B complementing A is not the same scenario in this case, right? So AB and BA are 2 different arrangements in this scenario. Okay. Okay. So here we have 2 chairs. How many choices are there for the first chair? At the first chair we can have, how many friends you are? You have 5 friends. So for the first chair we have 5 choices. And for the second chair we have 4 choices, right? So we have 20 choices, 20 possible arrangements. 20 possible arrangements. Say, let us count one by one. So we'll have A here on the giver chair. So on the receiver end, first let us say B is sitting, next C is sitting, D is sitting, then E is sitting. So A will complement B, will complement C, will complement D, will complement E. So how many sessions? 4 sessions A will have. Next, B is sitting here. Now B will complement A. Now this is a different arrangement, right? A complementing B is a different scenario. B complementing A is a different scenario, right? So B will complement A, then complement C, will complement D, will complement E. Right? Similarly, C will complement A, will complement D, will complement E, will complement B. Similarly, D will complement A, B, C, and E. Similarly, E will complement A, B, C, and D. So 4 arrangements for each one of them. And how many of them? 5 of them. So 5 into 4, we have 20 sessions of complementing one person another for our group of 5 people. Right? I hope you are able to understand this. Okay? Okay? So in this, how are we going to calculate this mathematically? So here we see permutation that for first place we have 5 choices and for the next place we have 4 choices. Or what you can see, or what you can do is that out of 5 people, you will choose 2 people, right? You will select 2 people. But let us say we select A and B. But A sitting on the giver chair and B sitting on the receiver chair, or B sitting on the receiver chair, B sitting on the giver chair and A sitting on the receiver chair are two different arrangements associated with each selection, right? 5C2 will give you how many different ways are there to select two people from a group of 5 people. Okay. Now, for each selection, let's say you select A and B. For each selection, you have two different arrangements, whether A sitting on the giver chair or B sitting on the giver chair. So with the each arrangement, you have two different scenarios. So each selection will be multiplied by 2. So hence it is multiplied by 2. So we have 2 into 5C2. 5C2 was 10. 10 into 2, that is 20. In this way also you can see this scenario. Okay. Clear here? Okay. Next we have a homework handout for you. Let us do these questions as well. So in this scenario, what we have is, there is a physics teacher who says that I need 4 distinct students. So Rahul, Priya, Amit and Sneha volunteer for this. And they are asked to go into the laboratory for the practical exam. Okay. So this is the lab door. And the students have to enter into the laboratory. So how many arrangements are there for them to enter into the laboratory? So whether Rahul enter first, Priya enter second, Amit and then Sneha, or PRAS or RASP. How many total arrangements you can make? So here we observe that the arrangement matter, right? In which order they are going, that matters. So here what we will use? We will use permutation. And in this we observe that we have 4 distinct students. We have 4 distinct students. So how many total arrangements we will have? We will have 4 factorial arrangements, right? Yani 24 arrangements we will have. There are 24 ways in which these 4 students can enter into a laboratory. Okay. You need to write down all those 24 arrangements in the same fashion as we listed for our textbooks activity. Okay. Next part is identify whether this scenario represents a permutation or a combination. So what's your answer? Is it a permutation or a combination? Does the order of the student matter or not? It does matter. If it's Priya that enters first, then Priya will have her practical exam first, right? If it is Rahul who entered first into the laboratory, then he will have his practical exam first. Okay. So the order in which they enter, they will have their practical exam in that order itself. So it make a difference in which order or sequence they are entering into the laboratory. So here sequence matter, and hence it is an example for permutation. So how many total permutations we have? That is 24 arrangements we have. Next activity is that you have, during an evening study session, you have 4 mathematics notebooks on your desk. 3 of them are identical school notebooks. आपकी स्कूल की नोटबुक होती है जो उन पर स्कूल का पिक्चर बना होता है, सेम सेम दिखाई देती है, राइट? So 3 of them are identical school notebooks and one is specialized reference manual. So this time you have n 3 times identical, and r is different. So you need to calculate in how many ways you can put these notebooks into your bag, in how many different ways you can stack them in this vertical fashion. So first arrangement we are seeing n r, or what we can do n r n, or what we can do n r n n. Is there any other? Yes, r n n n. Is there any other? No. These are the only 4 possible arrangements. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. If you are able to find any distinct, put that into the comment section. Okay. So part A says list out all the truly distinct visual sequence in which you can stack these 4 notebooks on your desk. You need to list out all those 4 arrangements. Next, state the total number of unique arrangement. How many unique arrangement you are able to find out. So here we have 4 factorial, since we have 4 places, 4 notebooks, 4 objects we can say, right? But we observe that 3 of them are identical. So arranging them at different places doesn't make a difference. So we need to divide it with the 3 factorial. So at last we have 4 distinct arrangements according to the formula, but you need to list them out. Next question is question number 3. This is based on the freshers party. So in the classwork, you just enter into the freshers party and encounter 2 booths. One is the photo booth and then another is a compliment table. So you enter into party and you are able to get a concept of mathematics. That's a great party, right? Now we are at the end of the party. So at the end of the party, the committee or the school organizers need to select 6 top performing candidates. Sorry. At the end of your welcome gala, the school organizers select a final pool of 6 top performing candidates, and the organizer need to pick 2 students. Out of 6 students, they need to pick up 2 students to form an autumn decoration cleanup committee. Now, cleanup committee. Now you have created a lot of mess with the party, right? We need a cleanup committee. So the organizer decided to have 2 students cleanup committee, and they need to select these 2 students out of these 6 top performing candidates. So what do you think? Whether it is a question of permutation or combination, whether the order or the sequence in which the students are picked up from this 2 students are picked up from the 6 top performing candidates matter or not? There is a committee. We need to pick 2 students from these 6 top performing candidates. Does the order matter? that whether we select second first and the fourth next, or we select fourth first and two next. No, we just need to have a committee. We just need to select two people. The order doesn't matter. So this is the question for combination, in which the sequence doesn't matter, the arrangement doesn't matter. You just need to pick two. Okay. So here we have 62 arrangements, right? 62 ways to pick up two students from a group of 6 people. So it is 6 factorial by 2 factorial into 4 factorial. So it is 6 into 5 by 2. That is 15 arrangements. There are 15 possible ways to pick two students out of these 6 top performing candidates. Okay. This is the question of combination. The order or the sequence in which the students are selected doesn't matter. We need to have a group. Okay. Next part is, okay, we have a happening party. Okay. Now we need to select Miss Fresher, or we can say Mr. Fresher, and best dressed person. Okay. We need to select two person. One is Mr. Fresher. We can say Miss Fresher drop kar dete hain, and a best dressed candidate. Okay. Now does the sequence or order matter? Suppose we have Rahul, Priya, Sohan. Okay. I select Rahul and Priya. In the first part, since we need to make a committee, it doesn't matter whether I select Rahul first or Priya first. Both of them will go into a group. But here, since we have distinct name of these positions, like if I select Rahul first, Rahul will be the Mr. Fresher, and Priya next, yani Priya is the best dresser. But if I select Priya first, then Priya is same as Fresher, and Rahul is the best dresser. So the sequence in which I pick up the students matters here. So this is the question of permutation. The sequence matter. Okay, right? So here, this is the question of permutation. Now you need to find out total unique award outcome possible. In how many ways these awards, Mr. or Miss Fresher and best dressed fresher, can be awarded out of these 6 top performing candidates. Okay, out of these 6 you need to select 2, and in these 2 there are 2 possible arrangement. One can be Mr. Fresher and another can be best dresser, and then we can interchange them. Okay, so 6C2 into 2, because with each selection there are 2 different possibilities, right? Whether A is Mr. Fresher, B is best dresser, or B is Mr. Fresher and A is best dresser, right? So we will have 30 unique award outcome possible. Or you can do this by permutation also, like we have 2 different places. One is for Mr. or Miss Fresher and another is for best dresser. For the first place, we have 6 possible candidates. We can choose from 6 possible candidates. So 6 choices. And for the next, we have just 5 choices, because one of them has already acquired a title Mr. or Miss Fresher. It cannot be given the another title, that is best dresser. Okay. So we need to give the best dresser title out of the remaining 5 candidates. So the choices for the best dresser are 5. So in total, we will have 6 into 5, that is 30 possible outcomes to award these titles. I hope these incident or these activities help you to understand where the order, the sequence matter, where it doesn't matter, which condition or situation is a situation for permutation and another is for combination. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoy these activities and perform all of them as they stated. In the next lecture, we will start with the mathematical or numerical way to calculate all these possible ways or arrangements.